So Keith, I've heard you say that our cloud video surveillance solution really enhances the security. Can you tell me how that is?
Yeah, so we're actually bringing security to your security system. So the first thing that you do when you go, so yeah, it's kind of interesting to say, right?
Yeah, okay.
You know, your system is supposed to be there, it's supposed to be online, it's supposed to be protecting you. But you know, there's always a chance you may have operational failures of the recorder that's on site. And if there's you know, one recorder there and it dies, or if say someone comes in and they take the recorder,
it's gone.
The evidence is gone. So the odds of you trying to track down you know, that incident that happened are pretty much virtually zero at that point, because you have no evidence to link to give to the police at that point. So by putting the hardware kind of off premise, the recordings off premise, you have kind of that fail safe in case someone comes in and tries to, one, steal the recorder, or two, if an employee, if it's, you know, starting a business, goes in and they try to tamper with the equipment, there's nothing for them to tamper with in terms of where the video is stored. You know, cameras can still go on and off in any solution, but at least in cloud, you know, the video evidence can't be touched by anybody unless you have access to it. There's no way to physically get to that hard drive to get it out. Two, that is a good point on storage. You know, we want to make sure that evidence is there. And when you have a hard drive on site, you've got one drive. Most recorders, unless you're going into a higher dollar, you know, product or a larger camera count, you don't have any redundancy on that storage. So if that hard drive dies, your evidence dies with it. We store video 3 times when you put it up in the cloud, so it's a triple redundant backup. It happens in an encrypted fashion, so you know, even in the data center, we don't have access to your video. I can't get to your footage. It is locked, you know, lock and key, virtually speaking, from a cyber perspective, to where you would have to give us remote access to your account to be able to look at your video, and that's pending you need us to do anything for you. If not, you own that video, it's there, it's not going to go anywhere. If a drive fails, you've got additional copies, and when a drive fails, you know, it's the principles of RAID. Another drive in the data center takes its place and that video is backed up again. So you're kind of always making sure the video is as secure as possible.
Right, so that's really built into the cloud solution. You can do that with traditional or on-prem, but you have to know how to do it and invest in the hardware up front in order to have that redundancy.
You still can. So you can still get RAID redundant recording on site, but one, it's costly. So, you know, and you have to know what you're doing. You're going to have to maintain the hard drives, make sure the arrays are working correctly. And you know, RAID in general, it puts a heavier load on a drive. So having to do that on your own can be time consuming and frustrating.
Here it's built into the system automatically.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome.
And you know, there's limits to how many cameras can record a drive. So just there's a lot more that you have to take into account when you do an on-premise to make sure you're not putting your security system at risk to not be, you know, secure. And you know, lastly, cybersecurity is a big point of it, right? Sure. So making sure that the data is somewhere that is secure, making sure it's getting there in a secure fashion, and you know, adding some layer of encryption where only certain people can access it. That's just natively easier for us to do when we move to cloud.
Right, and it's automatically encrypted as it's going up to the cloud, and it's encrypted when it's residing on the servers as well.
Correct.
So,
yeah, encrypted in transmission and encrypted at rest.
Right. So you know, when we talk about cloud, you know, the simple way that I think about it is just it's worry-free, you know, security for your security system. Like you said, it's kind of that redundant phrase, but secure security. Exactly. It's awesome. So that's inherent in our cloud solution. Thanks.